Today here in the dungeon we check out the MojoMojo Overdrive pedal from TC Electronic. That was the MojoMojo Overdrive through a clean amp. Let's see what it sounds like through the same amp when the tubes are being just slightly overdriven. awesome pedal. I dig it. I dig it a lot. The things I really like about it, it's the thing with with all TC Electronics pedals, metal construction. It's built very well. It standard 9 volt input. This thing says, on the back of it, it says 40 milliamps. And I doubt it would be even that much. I guess you'd have to look up on their website to verify. Generally, distortion overdrive pedals don't draw quite that much, at least not 9 volt. But regardless, standard 9 volt power input. Again, all metal construction. It's built very well, and it's got a little thumb screw on the back of it. Should you decide you want to run it with batteries, and it's the type that you can actually unscrew with a quarter. So, if you're at a gig and your power supply goes out for some reason, you don't have a screwdriver in your hand to put a battery in, you might have a quarter in your pocket. Or somebody probably will. So, the things I really like about it, I find it to be actually very transparent. A very transparent overdrive. Definitely a little on the darker side, as far as tone goes. It's a little bit darker tone, kind of almost Mesa Boogie-ish. It's not the brightest pedal in the world, but when I'm running it through a really bright amp, which is what this Panama Shaman seems to be. The Panama amp is very bright. It's a really good overdrive for that amp. It's got plenty of gain on here. I hesitated to turn it all the way up because one thing I did notice when you got the gain cranked and the bass cranked, and I'll get to that in a minute. It makes the speakers in my Marshall cabinet kind of get a little woofy if you get just too much of that stuff going into the signal. It just almost seems to be a little bit too much. In these conditions, that can change in through from one amp to the next, from one environment to the next. So I'm not too concerned about that, and realistically I don't really use overdrive pedals here in the dungeon very often. I like the bass and treble controls do a lot. So if you're starting with the treble at 12 o'clock and crank it up, if it's too much, obviously it's real easy to dial it back just a little bit and pull out exactly the amount that I want pulled out. The bass control does a whole lot, and if you start with it all the way at 0 and hit an E note or something, and then turn it up, you can really hear the tone go, and hear that bass tone really, that bottom end really come in and thicken everything up. So again, very cool. Tons of gain on tap, as I said. Really, I think my one complaint with this pedal would be the voice switch. That little bitty switch there in the middle doesn't seem to do much at all. If I were going to make one suggestion of TC Electronic, that voice switch, when you should change the voice and give us a new voice. That being said, regardless of what position you have the voice switch in, it all sounds really good. And it's true bypass, all metal construction, made in Thailand, I believe. Yep, just like all their other pedals. It's the same size as the Tone Print pedals, but it's not part of the Tone Print series, as far as as far as I understand. There's no USB input for the Tone Print feature or anything like that. But it's the same chassis, the same casing, same size as those pedals, to give you an idea. And the best part about this thing is you can buy these things new for $49.99, under $50, everywhere that I saw, be it Guitar Center's website, eBay, Reverb, all over the place. This pedal, brand new, is $50. So for $50, this sounds like to me, it sounded like $100 to $120 pedal easily. So when you're talking about, $50 pedals, you're not getting down, that's not inexpensive pedals, that's getting down into budget pedal range. And this does not sound or perform anything like a budget pedal. This sounds like, a pedal that any serious guitar player looking for a different kind of overdrive, that's not a tube screamer circuit, might be interested in. Definitely one to check out. I know Paul Gilbert's using these right now. And, he's getting some great tones out of them. So I can't play like Paul Gilbert. I'm not going to get those tones out of it. but I got some pretty cool stuff out of it that I do like too. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. I am done working at my full-time regular job for the rest of the year, so there will be several more videos to come. And I got all kinds of, I got a whole pile of stuff here that I want to talk about over the next couple of weeks. And speaking of the Christmas season, there are tons and tons and tons of people out there that would love to be able to get involved in music that might not have the opportunity otherwise. Please go check out my friends at Share the Music. The link to their Facebook page, which is where you would go to check them out, as well as where you would go to find the email address to contact them directly. Please go check them out on Facebook and reach out and give the gift of music and do a good thing to help somebody else, especially if you have broken guitars or other musical instruments laying around that you would like to donate to somebody. That's a great place to send them. More to come very soon.